Hi, I'm Deb Miller, owner of Miller Productivity. Do you know the 3 biggest mistakes managers make that kill their business process documentation efforts? If you want to enjoy more productivity, stability, and continuity in your business and avoid the process documentation mistakes that stop most people dead in their tracks, keep watching. Mistake number 1, thinking process documentation is a waste of time and resources. The mistake is thinking that while you are spending time documenting processes, the work is not getting done, or you are overloading your staff. True, getting the work done is important, but documenting how the work gets done is also crucial for improving the effectiveness of your operations and reducing wasteful activities and costs. Unless you have a handle on your crucial business processes, you are risking your business. This is a mistake because in the long run, having documented processes and procedures can actually assist you to identify wasteful activities being performed by your employees, identify work silos that are frustrating your employees and customers and impacting communication, reduce unnecessary business costs, satisfy regulatory requirements, improve employee training and morale, and know which processes need improving and which don't. Instead of thinking process documentation is a waste of time and resources, you should consider it an essential strategy to improve your operations and customer relationships. Make documenting processes the responsibility of everyone in the organization. It doesn't matter if the process is a task activity or knowledge work. If you don't consider the documentation process important, then your employees won't either. Mistake number 2, waiting until a key employee leaves to document a process. Then it's too late. Do you have a key employee who knows what to do every day and simply gets the work done? This is someone who knows the ins and outs of your business, and you happily let them do their job without thinking twice about it. What would happen if a key employee is disabled for a few weeks or decides to retire or leave the organization? Do you have their processes documented? Do you even know what activities they perform on a daily basis? How will you continue to get the work done if they are unable to do it? A financial services organization I worked with had a long-time employee who felt that training her replacement would take 2 to 3 years. That's because she didn't have anything written down, and some activities only occurred once or twice a year. When we looked at the work she performed on a weekly basis, we identified 44 different processes that impacted 3 different departments. No one really understood the impact she had on the business. Instead of waiting until a key employee leaves to document a process, you should conduct a process inventory. Ask every employee in the organization to list their daily, weekly, and monthly activities in a spreadsheet. Along with the task, you should also capture the dependencies and any software, databases, or spreadsheets that are being used. For example, one task could be to complete a report which is due every Friday. Identify the people who receive the report and those who provide information. The spreadsheet that's used to capture the information to create the report, where the spreadsheet is located, and how the report is distributed. You may want to capture additional information as well. For example, due dates, departments affected, owner of the process, and more. You can use this information to prioritize your process and procedure documentation efforts. You will then really understand how the work flows within your organization. Mistake number 3, thinking only audited procedures need to be documented. Another mistake is thinking that only the processes that are regulated or part of your quality certification need to be documented. Certainly, those are important. However, many times, that documentation is not adequate to prepare your employees to actually perform the work. It can leave out a lot of critical business processes that are not required by the regulations. This is also a mistake because the focus of the documentation is meeting a regulatory or certification requirement. It probably was developed by the quality department and may not be a good training tool. The best documentation involves everyone who actually performs that task in its creation. Instead of thinking that only audited procedures need to be documented, You should act as if each employee performs a critical business function and document their processes. Not only will you have great documentation, but you will also have a document that can be used in training your newly hired employees. Keep in mind that not everyone in the organization is comfortable describing exactly what they do on a daily basis. That's where it can be valuable to bring in a business process management consultant to help you identify the critical business processes and to help develop the priorities and documentation itself. Now that you understand the top 3 business process documentation mistakes and how to avoid them, I'd like to invite you to take the next steps for success. If you're a manager who wants to enjoy more productivity, stability, and continuity in your business without having to find the time to document critical processes and without falling behind in day-to-day operations, then Business Process Management Consulting from Miller Productivity will help you find success when creating your process documentation fast. For more information about Business Process Management Consulting or to schedule an appointment, call or go to millerproductivity.com. I look forward to speaking with you about your process documentation needs.